Welcome, everybody. This is Kelly, and I am the founder of Athena Village. And today I'm with one of our studio members, Barbara Zuliger. Barbara and I have known each other for a long time. She's my longtime business coach first and friend. Um, I'm excited to hear from her because she's got a new program that she is launching. But I'll tell you a little bit about her first. She is a strategic advisor for small businesses. She works with strategic planning and she's a fractional COO for small businesses. Her focus is, well, although she'll work with anybody, I think, but she loves working with women-owned businesses. She's very good about helping people know when to bring on help. Solopreneurs are someone she can help, but she's really good with small teams and teams that are in the growth period. Am I saying that right, Barb?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. You get to add anything you want. So tell us a little bit about you and why you wanted to create Flirting with Six Figures. Oh, and I also wanted to say for anybody who's listening here in the village, I know one of the problems that we have is we think, I don't need six figures. Well, guess what, people? What could you actually do with six figures? Maybe you don't need to, you can live in a tent and live on $100 a month. I don't know. But what good could we do with six figures? So let's hear about this if we're flirting with six figures.
I love that you're introducing this, Kelly, because you're one of the people from a number of years ago that would come to mind when I thought about this flirting with six figures piece. And we'll dive into kind of more about the why of that. But first of all, it's why I created this program. Let's kind of start with that. I do work with businesses that have teams and they've got, I work with small businesses. They're all under probably 8 million in revenue, which to many of us doesn't feel like a small business, but it
Mhm.
definitely is in the big picture of things. Um, and I love working with them. I love being able to work with their teams and do trainings with them and help. They've got resources, they've got some things to work with, and we can really dive in. And there's always room for things to grow.
Mhm.
What I find though is that for many of us, and in particular women in business, we do get sometimes we're okay with, oh, 50,000, that's a good income. If I had a job, that'd be a good income. So why isn't that okay for my business? And I don't disagree with that from an income perspective. In today's world, that's getting to be less and less of a good income. But at my age, it's something that I would definitely have seen as, hey, that'd be great if we could get there. And yet, when we're running a business, if we can get past that six-figure mark, if we can get, and that, there's nothing magical about that. It's just, it's kind of fun to play with solid numbers, right?
Mhm.
We have so many more resources to work with that it's as hard as it is to get to six figures, it is half as hard to get from that to 300,000 or 500,000 because
Mhm.
you can actually do some of the things like hiring or
Right.
buying technology or investing in marketing, all these things that at 30 to 50,000 in revenue, we don't have the resources to do, right? We can't
Right.
stay there in our business. And I know that women in particular tend to get a mindset around, I don't need a lot. I'm
Mhm.
content where I am. And that's not wrong. But when you think about how many people you could impact if your business was just a little bit bigger, who could you
Mhm.
employ? Who could you hire? Who could you donate to? How
Right.
could you help? I think about one of the organizations that I'm a part of, and they do a big leadership program for young girls.
Mhm.
How much more involved can you be in some of those things in your community if you have a little more money available to you? If you were employed, you wouldn't say no to a $10,000 raise, but we do every day in our businesses.
That's
So,
that's kind of funny. That's kind of funny that you would say, and we wouldn't say no to a $10,000 raise. No, we wouldn't.
right,
And so, who is this program for? Um, Many of the people in Athena Village are solopreneurs.
right.
Will this be relevant for them? or is it only for people who already have a team?
No, this is exactly why I created this. Because as our budgets get tighter and tighter, and that's just the reality of life right now,
Mhm.
it's not cheap to work with me on my one-to-one programs. Yet there are so many people that could benefit from the core of what I teach my business owners. So that is why I started flirting with six figures, because I've run those businesses that would hit six figures and the next year it's 70. And the next
Mhm.
year it's just over six. And then there's a couple of years of 60 to 70. And that is so demoralizing in some ways
Yeah,
and frustrating. I did all this work and it went away. And it's because when we're building a business and we're doing it mostly alone, maybe with a VA, maybe with a part-time person, but we're shoving that big rock up the hill, right? And we get to a point where we, oh, I can relax, or oh, I'm so busy, I can't keep doing all that other stuff that got me here. And we lose it. And then we go back.
right.
That's why the title, Flirting with Six Figures, because that to me was, it was harder to me for me to flirt with six figures in my businesses than it was to never hit six figures from an emotional perspective. Because it was like, I know I can do it. I proved I could do it. How did I do it 3 years in a row and now I can't?
I
That has to
understand that.
do with structure and foundation in your business.
Okay, so we're going to be talking, I'm assuming we're going to be addressing this issue of our mindset about money, about why we don't need a lot of money. And I'm a Martha Beck coach, a Wayfinder coach, and I wonder if I still have that. I should post, I'll post it. When I first trained with her, I did a little card, like an affirmation card, and
Mhm.
it said, by the year 2015, I will be making $60,000 a year. And Martha and I were talking, and she looked at that and she said, "Oh, for Pete's sake!" And she like took a marker and wrote 600,000.
Yeah.
And so will we be addressing this whole mindset issue about why and getting over that?
We won't be spending a lot of time on that. What I really want to spend a lot of time on is simple systems and strategies and
Okay.
tools that you can actually, when we have our time together in this course, and it's a live course all online,
Okay.
it's part community, part curriculum, part accountability. The tools you're going to work with, you're going to leave that session with and utilize it. You're going to figure out, okay, so what is my number one goal in my, and yeah, we're going to use words like goals that some people don't like. Goals, target, results, all those things to me are interchangeable, but we will use my planning system that has proven success for many, many years. And we will use the seven building blocks of business to go back and say, what of these foundational blocks do I need to create for my business from where it's at right now to get it where I want it? Now, there may be things you have to do to hit that six figure,
Yeah.
and you'll have to do something different to hit that 250,000. That's
Okay.
okay. We're focused on getting you to that first milestone.
Okay, so if anybody needs to talk about their money issues, they can talk to me, but we are getting down and dirty and we are going
Yes.
to make a plan. So
Yep.
you talk about the seven building blocks. Let's test Kelly's memory. Actually,
Uh-huh.
I'm cheating because I'm looking in Barb's course in Athena Village and see if I get it right. Planning and financial, number
Yep.
one, marketing, customer service, sales, product development, team development, and personal leadership and growth. Did I get it?
That's it.
All right.
That is it. If we can pay attention to each of those and decide you can't do them all at once, so we have to prioritize. So
Mhm.
we use that as a guide in this system to help us know where your gaps are. Where's your bottlenecks? What's getting in the way for you? The people who are going to be in this are mostly entrepreneurs. They're very ambitious, but they feel like they're stuck. So how do I really get into the meat of what it takes to move my business to that next level?
Okay. Wonderful. And we'll be doing all of this just to make it easy for everyone in a safe, private community, which
Yep.
we're doing it inside of Athena Village. And this is a place where we don't have to worry about other people sneaking in on us and all of that kind of stuff. Um, what do you use? A lot of women struggle with sales.
Mhm.
I know I'm one. Um, I use the phrase, I suck at marketing. And that is really a bad idea to say that out loud all the time because that is self-fulfilling, right? So I think about it as attraction. You know, what is my
I
attraction
like that.
flywheel? Yeah.
Right. You've
And
got that new program coming in too, that is all
yeah,
about attracting people a year out or spending that time to really build those relationships. I love that
yeah.
concept.
Yeah. So what I'm working on now, because this is, and I always create things I need. Where are my people the year before they find me?
Mhm.
What are, you might walk by a little shop 5 times before you actually go in. What is it about that little shop you walk by that attracts you? And finally, you get to go in. How do you talk about this sales piece, this marketing or whatever we decide to call it? How do you talk about that? And I notice you've got sales and marketing split in your 7 building
Yeah,
blocks.
they're not the same thing. We want our marketing to sell for us, but reality is it depends upon what your product is, right? If you're a coffee shop, your marketing may be your sales. You can upsell once you get somebody in the door, but if they come in the door, they're going to buy coffee. They're going to buy something.
Hmm.
So it depends upon your business, how closely linked these two are. If you are a service-based business, which is true for most people in our society these days, especially women-owned businesses are more likely to be service-based.
Hmm.
Sales and marketing have to go hand in hand, right?
Okay.
Marketing and sales have to speak the same language. And marketing is introducing the product, sales is opening the relationship so you can
Okay.
interact together.
So by the
There was a coach out of California years ago. I'm drawing a blank right now as to her name, but she talked about if you're going to bake the brownies, which is create the product, get it out there, let people smell it. That's the marketing. Then you better share the brownies. And in order to do that, you've got to open the relationship or the term nobody likes to hear, close the sale.
hmm Yeah. Well, and so when you're finally in that, what I call a curiosity call, someone
Mhm.
has walked by my shop
Yeah.
or done a click about and found my website a bazillion times and finally booked a call. So the previous stuff, that's the marketing where we're getting their attention. We're doing the
Yep.
attraction. When they're in that call with us, that's the sales part. That's where they taste the brownie.
Yes. Yes. And you're not going to sell in a service-based business. I don't sell or open a relationship with everyone I talk to because my goal is to determine what is it you need. And is that
Hmm.
something I can provide? And do I believe that you're capable of accomplishing it? Both is your business really, do you have realistic views for your business? And are you the person that's willing to make the changes and all of that goes into it? And you talked about mindset a couple of minutes ago, and
Hmm.
mindset is definitely a piece of these conversations. I'm not saying we don't go into that. We
Hmm.
do, because there's no way to avoid that in every one of these aspects. When
Well,
you mentioned the 7 building blocks for us, the seventh one is personal growth and leadership.
yeah.
And if we're not changing and growing, our businesses aren't going to grow either. And that's where this program is really designed for those business owners who have been in business a little while. They're seeing some results. They know there's more that they can do with it. And they are just looking for the actual step by step by step. How do I get this done in my business? As well as some connection with other people in a similar spot. And a little accountability goes a long way here. I
Hmm.
said I'm going to do this, but what if I don't get to it? A client I was working with last week, and she had a big project she needed to get done and piles everywhere. Anybody picture that look? Most of us can see it in our own offices. And I said, how can I best help you with this after we got it all laid out? And she said, check in with me on Tuesday morning and ask me if I did it.
Hmm.
that is part of my job is to keep her accountable. So that's my one-to-one coaching sessions.
Hmm.
But on this group program, we're going to get a little bit some of that involved as well. And it
Yeah.
goes beyond me. It goes into these are very small groups that we're going to be creating because I want that close cohort, so that you can really feel connected and safe with everybody else.
Okay. So a small group in each, and we'll get to the specifics I know here in a minute, but will you be running these time-based? So everybody, there's 8 people, we all start on one date and we all work together for 90 days. Is that
Mhm.
your intention?
It is a cohort. I want everyone on the calls at all possible, hopefully 90% at least.
Hmm.
Um, when we're doing them live, they will be recorded because life happens, right?
Right.
But you're going to get the most out of it by being on there, asking the questions, hearing other people's questions, interacting with each other. That's how the program's designed, is that you will have side conversations with one or two other people in the cohort each time that we all meet. You're going to start together, you're going to finish together. Yes, you'll
Okay.
have homework, things that you will be implementing in between times, but the actual progress you're making, you'll be learning it in the same time frames.
So it's possible that you'll be running this 90 days. You'll start one 90 day and then
Yeah.
do another 90 day. Okay, cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love to see this be an ongoing system.
Yeah.
Years ago, I did regular group coaching. It was in a little different format, and it was very effective for those clients. And I just feel like there's so much noise out there
Hmm.
in what's possible. I mean, I get caught up in it too. I've listened to 3 different pitches in the last month on people who are going to help me do this or do that in my business.
Right.
This is
Well,
meant to be as simple as we can make it and as solid as you need, because that's a strong business has to be boring. People
yeah.
like you and I, Kelly, we don't do boring well. We do change. Let's move.
Speaking of that and marketing, I've seen a commercial the last couple of days that it's for a financial planning company, and it says something boringly successful for the last 3
Oh, I
decades or
love
something
that.
like
Yeah.
that. And I
Mhm.
thought, now isn't, for a financial planner, you don't need bells and whistles. You want someone
You
boring with
want
good,
boring.
yeah, you want boring. So I love that. Okay, so we well, one comment from a client of yours on this money mindset issue. While you're not going to focus on helping us to change our money mindset, knowing Barb, you will call us out when you hear us being silly about money.
Yes.
So,
It is about having those open conversations, and there
mhm.
has to be a trust factor. That's the small group that we're holding. And I want you at the as we wrap here up here in a few minutes to share how Athena Village plays into this and the
Okay.
privacy factor of it, because I do think that that is with everything online right now, it's really tough to know what to trust and who to
Oh yeah.
trust. And fairly quickly build some connection so we feel like we can say what's really going on, we're going to struggle to change it.
Yes.
I don't
So
care where anybody is in their business, as long as we know what that looks like today to the best of their ability, so we can work with it.
so one of the things that you talk a lot about the power of daily success.
Mhm.
And for me, that translates to a Sunday ritual where I look at my week coming up. I do all my planning on the computer, but I do it on paper on Sundays. And then I look at the gaps and I figure out where I have time to do my planning and my other stuff. And that's basically you have a structure to help us with that. Can you say a little bit more about what your power of daily success is and what we can expect from that?
Sure. That is my planning system that I created, oh gosh, 15 years ago. I'm always tweaking little pieces of it to
Hmm.
keep it relevant and make sure that it's clear how to use it. And the title of it speaks for itself.
Hmm.
It's unlocking the power of daily success. Most people in business have an idea of where they want to go with their business. Maybe it's in dream form, maybe it's in goal form. We'll talk more about in the program what the difference is there.
Mm-hmm.
But that's way out here, right? I'm driving from Minnesota to Florida. It's way out here. But if you don't know which direction to turn when you hit Wisconsin, you may not end up in Florida,
Right.
right? So with Unlock the Power of Daily Success, we're looking at what's the big dream for the business and how that gives you quality of life. We're
Mm-hmm.
talking about what has to happen in the next 3 years in big picture format so that we can look at the next 90 days, the next 12 months and say, all right, here's what I can do in 90 days. And because I'm going to be doing something anyways.
Mm-hmm.
No business owner is ever sitting around doing nothing unless they're truly, really stuck. Um, and it's the day-to-day tasks that we do that make a difference. One of the things I've talked about on this program with this program is right now it's middle of August. I hate to say that out loud, but it's real.
I know.
And, the decisions we make right now are going to impact the rest of our year for our business and set us up for what happens next year,
Mm-hmm.
right? We've hopefully enjoyed some time this summer. We're starting this program in September. Okay. It's going to take maybe 4 to 5 hours a month
Okay.
because we'll have our time together. You'll have your homework to do. We'll have some individual meetings. I kind of interrupted my own self there, but let's go back to the Unlock the Power of Daily Success. That's
Yeah.
the system we also use for annual planning, which, by the way, is a piece of this program. We do a full day of annual planning in December. All the information is on the Flirting with Six Figures website, so you'll see it there. And that's a part of this program. So you get this 90 days to really work through where you're at. And as you wrap up this, you're going to go right into now, how can I use that for next year? Because you get a ticket to the full day planning session, which is in person, along with this program.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to be meeting in a private space inside of an online community, which has been existing with more than 200 members for 10 years. It's our 10-year anniversary. And Barb, you were one of
Wow,
the
that's
first members.
amazing.
I know. So we're meeting in this private space. The reason we are on this platform is it is one of the safest and most private, ethical community platforms out there. I do my research, and I am one of there's a handful of us that are certified Mighty Network experts. And I make it my point to make sure that's what we're doing here. We don't sell anybody's information. We won't be marketing to you. You talk with Barb. If you sign up for Barb's program, that's who you hear from. So it's very safe. It's just safe and private. You talk about the daily success. Between the two of us, Barb and I, will be building in some like habit trackers, some reminders, some things for you to help you get to do what you say you're going to do. Do what you say you're going to do. Do what you say you're going to do. That's one of my biggest things is I forget what I say I'm going to do. And so, oh, okay, yeah, that's right.
Go back to the goals, go back to your list, go back to
And
your plan.
we will have a way to keep all of that for you and help you to remember what you said you were going to do. One thing that I'm curious about, I'm a big fan of community. I believe there's power in, it takes a village and all. What are the positives of working in a group like this? And will we have opportunities to have one-on-one time with you if we're a part of this group?
Good question. Again, all this information is over on the website, which the link will be here. It is flirtingwithsixfigures.com. That's our link, so you can find out all the information. But it's really three pillars, if you will. It is the simple and powerful tools that we're going to work with. It is the time with each other. Being a business owner can be so isolating. Even if you have a strong, support system, I'm telling you, they're all getting tired of listening to the same things day after day that don't change. That is true for every single business owner. They need someone else to talk to who understands what it means to be an entrepreneur. And that's what you're going to get with this group, and not a big 50 people in a classroom setting, but 6 people that you can connect with online and here in the village and interact with and see what's working for them and what's not. We learn so much from each other.
Yes.
We actually learn even more when we're teaching. So if we've got advice to share, which everyone does who joins a group like this, we want to hear it. We want to know, what have you learned? What's working for you? Because what worked 2 months ago is not going to work 2 months from now. It's constantly shifting. And this program also includes 2 one-to-one sessions with me for all our attendees, one to help you get started and one closer to the end to make sure that it's all gelling and that you're wrapping it up. Because what really will give us success out of this is if you say 90 days after the end of this event, it's easier. I'm still working a lot, but what I'm doing is getting results, and that feels easier. That's the overall goal. So simple, real tools, a community that you can connect with, and interaction with me. I'm a business strategist and coach, and I've been doing this now since 2008. So a few years. And I've learned a ton from the people I've worked with, and I get to share all of that for the next people that I work with.
Thank you. I'm just going to, I'm excited about this. I need it. I'm in a really interesting season of my own life and business, so this is going to be really good for me. You say on your website that we will leave with a plan that sticks, something that is built specifically for our own business, which you will help us with.
Right. Personalized.
Yep. We will look at structure over hustle. So becoming proactive rather than reactive, that we don't need more effort. We need a system, which is really cool. We will not be figuring it out alone. I love hearing ideas from others who have a different perspective than I, which is, I think, a strength of a group. And we will have proof that it's working because we will share our wins and wines and all of that with one another. And we will be watching it from the perspective of each of us. Do you want to go over a little bit of the logistics and where people go in order to?
Sure. I do want to touch real quick too on, this all sounds great, right? I mean, I can hear your thinking out there. This all sounds great. I think it's what I need. This is great. But I've bought all these programs before. I've worked with a coach before. I've done this. I've done that. All of those things are real. The difference here is, are you in the right spot now to do this work?
Yeah.
So if you're thinking, I don't have the time, I've tried these things, they haven't worked. If you've got questions on it, please reach out directly to me. You can find me through the village here. If you're listening outside of the village, you can find me at on my website, which is performancepartnerscoaching.com. It's a different website than Flirting with Six Figures, but those websites find each other, so you'll find that. And you can just schedule some time for us to chat. And there's also a self-assessment tool. If you're wondering, is this right for me? Check with me.
Mm-hmm.
Send me that email. Send me a note on the village. Check with Kelly. I've got a self-assessment tool designed specifically for this event. Is this the right event for me? And is this the right time? I'll send it to you. You go through, you score it on your own, and you say, yep, this is where I need to be. Or, oh, I don't think I'm ready for this one yet. Or I'm actually beyond this, and maybe I should talk with Barbara about one-to-one support.
Mm-hmm.
But that self-assessment tool would help you with that. And I would be happy to share that with anyone. Either ask for it by email, or again, if you just want to chat for a few minutes, schedule a call with me, and we'll discuss that at the same time.
Perfect. And if anyone's listening to this and you're not a member of Athena Village, you can join Athena Village at members.athenavillage.com, and that will put you in the free village square of Athena Village, and you can find Barbara in our studio member directory, and all the information about this program is there. Thank you for listening. And you can also, if you want, I'll give you the skinny on working with Barbara if you want to reach out to me.
Kelly could tell you some stories. I'm telling you.
Yes, I
Again,
can.
this starts It starts September 10th, but don't wait till then because we want to get a chance for you and I to connect one-on-one so you're ready to start right at the very beginning, okay? Where you can find all the information, flirtingwithsixfigures.com is the website for this program, and I'll give you all the information that you need. Thanks for joining us today. Kelly,
Perfect.
thanks for hosting us.
Oh, my pleasure.